Hello and welcome back to our segment. We're happy to have with us from the OCTC Foundation, Larry Miller and Kay Coomes. And Kay is actually the chair of the OCTC Foundation. Hello and welcome.
Wow,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, Kay, when you arrived, we were so surprised we had not met in this capacity
That's
before.
true. That's true. I've been down here many times, but I don't think I've ever been with you.
Well, I'm so glad you could join us today.
It's my pleasure.
She pretties up the set, doesn't she,
Oh,
Larry?
definitely. Oh, well,
You guys
I
are
can't
being
how can I respond to
Okay,
that?
I don't
There's
know.
no right answer to that.
Well,
thank you.
Kay, I know that Larry's happy to have you as the chair of the foundation. And can you tell our viewers before we get into the annual giving campaign, which is what we're going to discuss,
right.
how did you become involved with the foundation?
Well, it was a former president many years ago approached me saying, you know, I really like you to be on our board and serve. You've got, new ideas and stuff like that. And, it took a little while because, I was busy on some other things, but eventually I did come to the board, and it's been really interesting. I do have a passion for education. I really do. Our company, Atmos Energy, it's kind of one of our cornerstones. It's part of our culture to support, education. So it kind of was a good fit for me. It's a good fit for what I do with my company, and I think it's a wonderful partnership. I really do.
Yes.
So that I've enjoyed my time with the board, and great new exciting things going on right now with the college. So I'm just honored to be a part of it. I really am.
And when we sit here each month and I get to speak with the various programs of the Community and Technical College, I'm blown away. Last month's segment was the Vet Tech program.
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. And I got
Yes.
to tour the facility before coming in. And so as a community member, you see investing in OCTC is investing in our future
Exactly.
in Owensboro. And
I couldn't have said it better myself, Jamie.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's an investment, and it's an investment into the future of this community and our children. It's just such a valuable asset to Davis County and the surrounding counties.
Yes.
It's not just Davis County. It's the surrounding counties. It's a place for many to come.
Right. And, Larry, that leads, though, to what we're going to discuss today. Speaking of investing, there's a great need for more dollars to come in to help students to live those dreams that we're talking about. So right now, you all have, it's that time of year where the annual giving campaign begins. Can you tell us what that entails? If someone gives during this time, what does that go for?
I'll be glad to do that. Before I get into that, let me just take a second, though, to thank Kay for serving as chair for several years now. And as anybody who in the community who serves on a board, and especially as a chair, you know how much time it takes.
Oh,
and it's
I'm
not
sure.
like we pay you very
It's been
much
all
for
fun,
that.
though. Yeah.
But she has jumped in and given 110% every time that there's something that the college needs. And what a great supporter of the community college, and we thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
But right now, you're right. We're right in the time of year where we're looking at trying to build some support for our scholarship dollars. And that's really the focus of our annual giving campaign this year. It'll be in the next couple of months. And really, I think a lot of people, they think of the community college, and it is lower tuition than any other institution around here.
Yes.
It's a real value for students and their parents. But a lot of times people think, well, they're state supported, 80 or 85% of their students, most of them receive financial aid. That's really kind of deceiving, though, because a person can receive financial aid and only receive $400 or $500 in a Pell Grant.
Right.
So just receiving financial aid doesn't tell the whole story. And there's a lot of students that, still need all the scholarship help they can get. And unfortunately, we just don't have the dollars we really need to help everybody who qualifies.
Well, and one of the things that we've discussed on here before is an emergency fund or an emergency scholarship. And I know myself, I remember when my mother was in college, and this is a very over-the-top sort of scenario, but she went to Western later in life to get a nursing degree. And this was during the 80s, and her car caught on fire during her trip down the road. Her books were lost. This emergency fund takes into consideration those life-changing, life-altering, unexpected things that might come up in a person's life. And I know that is beyond some of the things that people experience, but you have students who are trying to get their education but come upon hard times. So not only sometimes is it difficult to pay the tuition, but they may need a bill paid or may have other life needs, correct?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And we do have a very active emergency student loan fund that a lot of students will take a loan with us, and of course it's at 0%. They don't have to pay it back until they're able to do that. But in some of those emergencies, like you're talking about, if somebody has a house fire or their car, their flat tires, anything that interferes with them being successful in their classes, we do have loans and grants for that as well to take care of that. And a lot of times, in our office, of course, our office is in the administration building there. We don't always hear about those situations, but we've worked real closely with our faculty members. The faculty members are right there with those students every day, and we've tried to get them to really let us know if they hear or they know of a student in their classes, and the student might not be coming back to class because of a situation like that. The teacher finds out about it and then refers that student to us to get some assistance.
And many times that can make the difference between a student staying in school versus leaving school. Because probably an overwhelming reason why people leave school, young adults or single mothers leave school, is because life gets in the way.
Yes.
So I really think that this fund is so important for just those type of events. So it just gets them over the hump, and they can continue on with their college career. So I just think it's vital. I really do think it's vital to the success of the student, that we're here for that.
One of the things that you all shared in sending me your notes that I thought was so important, Larry, is you said sometimes the individual isn't rewarded for their education value because the funds are not there to do it.
Right.
That there may be an exceptional student who would deserve a larger scholarship or scholarship in general, but when the funds aren't there, they're not rewarded for their hard work.
Exactly.
And that really touched me. So that's how the community can really give back.
Exactly. I would say, well, statistically, we can show that over half of the students who apply for a scholarship are not awarded anything. That's really, we feel really terrible about that, and I'm the one in my role to have to let them know that unfortunately we don't have the dollars to do that. And it is very disturbing because a lot of those are really good students.
Exactly.
And then another problem with that is they get discouraged in the future for applying. So they'll say, well, what's the use in really applying? Because I tried last time and there was no funds available. So we're really appealing at this time of the year for help from the community. If anyone would like to make a contribution, any donation, however small or large, it really makes a big impact, as Kay just mentioned.
Truly. If you just stop and think, if every, I like to appeal to the alumni.
Sure.
If every person that has gone through the OCTC system and received some, benefit from it, if they just gave $10, just $10, I mean, we could truly knock this annual campaign out of the park. If just every one of those people, just so I would actually like to appeal to the alumni of OCTC. And it's kind of the silent majority in many ways. So I really do wish, and I hope that they hear this today, that they can give back.
Yes.
They can give back and in small ways make great, great gifts. It really does, because it's the numbers that matter. So.
Just, with your company and with you see a different group of people than perhaps Larry may see students directly. Well, with the foundation too, you also see other community members. But if someone were to approach you as the board chair and say, now why should I invest in OCTC, or I'm looking to give some dollars at the end of the year. Some people like to make donations.
Sure.
What would you say to another person, say like in a role similar to yours, a person who is established in the community and they hear about the annual giving campaign? What would you say to them as the board president?
Well, first of all, I do believe, as far as the corporate partnership and our city and county government, they do understand the value that OCTC brings to the community. They truly do, and I want to thank all the corporate partnerships, because we do have a very distinguished list, so they're very generous. But if there are those that, have not, what I would say to them is, it is the gift that truly keeps on giving. It really does, and it does matter. And like Larry says, it doesn't matter the size. Just give. Of course, we would like for them to be generous, of
Sure.
course, but just give. Just take the time to sit down and make that contribution. It really will make a big splash down the line. It really does, and it's many communities really across the country undervalue what a community college does to their community, what it signifies. And I have children in college now, I really do, and so I understand how valuable the tuition is.
Yes.
I mean, it's a place where you can get a quality education at more than half the price of another surrounding college. And that, I mean, not to say that they don't have a great program, they do, but not at the price that the community college has.
That's right. And not everyone is, they're looking for specialties here.
Exactly.
Not everyone and not every college is capable of providing some of the services that are here. The vet tech program, there are specialty things that are here that are not found even in a four-year college.
Right.
But those that are looking for that four-year degree, I mean, I look at the partnership between WKUO specifically right here in Owensboro. What a great stepping stone into that baccalaureate degree. So it's a win-win.
Oh, absolutely. And you've touched on an excellent point in the fact that there are so many programs here that a lot of the community don't even realize. The nursing program, I mean, you could get a nursing degree and make a very handsome living. We have a very wonderful new hospital that are probably in need of nurses. So,
there's over 40 different degree, associate degree and certificate programs. So
I mean, it's not just about the traditional track of, the 4 R's that you learn, but it has all the technical programs that, that for a child that maybe not want to do the traditional track,
right,
they can come where they can't get it any other place in Owensboro and get an education in vet tech, auto mechanics, tool and die. I mean, welding, you could just go on and on and on. And welding brings in a fine living. It really does.
Well, those manufacturers across the community have really embraced it, the Go Fame program we've discussed. And so it has been great as a community member to see if people are not familiar with what OCTC has to offer, they need to check it out, number one. And if that alone does not spawn the giving, we need to we need to keep on working, don't we, Larry?
Another thing we're working on too is, you mentioned all these programs. We're working on establishing scholarships just for each individual program. Just for example, you mentioned nursing. Back years ago when that program was started, there were some nurses in the community that wanted to make sure they help those students succeed. So we do have an established nursing scholarship program that anybody in the community is welcome to give
and
to.
direct it to that scholarship program.
Exactly, for particular students in a particular program.
Exactly.
So during this time, Larry, if people want to give, and again, I said this earlier, sometimes we like to give at the end of the year.
Right.
It is tax deductible.
It is, especially to the foundation, of course.
Yes.
Making a contribution, it is fully tax deductible.
And if we are having viewers that are just interested in giving, what's the best way to do that?
Well, I'd say just calling our office to find out more about it would be 270-686-4502, or just pull up the OCTC website. Just plug in OCTC. And you'll see the website there, and then it'll direct you to how to give to the college.
Kay, I wish we had someone that was a little more passionate on with Larry today. I wish we could have pled the case for giving a little bit better.
Well, we could always do a telethon here, couldn't we?
We could.
24 hours.
She's the perfect person
I was
for it.
thinking the phones would not stop ringing. Well, we're so glad to have you all with us today, and we hope that the community does take away from our segment today the importance of the annual giving campaign and giving to the foundation to further help the community college.
Well,
so thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And we thank you for watching our segment today. Please stay tuned for more great community programming here on OCTV.
you.